Hi, and welcome to a Culinary Experience. I'm Michael Mosolino, your host. Today we're at Loaves and Fish's Cook Shop in Garden City, Long Island. One of the greatest cook shops I've ever been in, and it's totally a pleasure and a delight to be here. We're very blessed to be here. Today I want to start off the show by making something that my family used to make, and I still make now, is what I call a Tuscan tuna salad. Years ago, growing up in Sagaponic, my Aunt Gloria and my cousin Kayla used to make every summer day this tuna dish, and it went over a great bread. And it's come into my life where I've been making it for quite a long time, and every time I make it, it makes me think of them. So what I'm going to start off with is a bowl. I just need a mixing bowl, and I'm going to use tuna, a canned tuna. What I want to do is show you about tuna, though, is the difference in tunas. This is a chunk light tuna. You see how big the massive chunk is? This is what they mean by a chunk tuna. And this comes out of a number 5 can like you'd see in some of those discount stores. And it's a huge chunk of tuna, and that makes it really good quality. It's what you look for in tuna. When you're buying a can of tuna and you open it up and you see a nice piece of tuna in there, one whole solid piece, so it's solid white tuna. A lot of times when you open a can of tuna, you find what looks like this, which is called shake. It's in the bottom of the can. And basically that's the drippings from the real loin of tuna, and that is not the quality that you want. So this is what you want. You see how leafy the tuna is? It's quite beautiful, and that's what we want. So we start off with that. And the question may come across to you is, do you buy tuna in water or tuna in oil? And it's totally a preference up to you. For myself, I usually get it in water. I'm going to add my own oil to it. Okay, we've got that set aside. Here's what we need. We need some nice red vine-ripe tomatoes. You can pick them up anywhere these days. Every store's got beautiful tomatoes. Then, we're just going to take a knife and cut them. This is so easy, it's not even funny. Just take it, take the seed out, pull off the little label they put on there for the computers. Pull that off. I had a flying tomato for a second. And just give yourself a quarter wedge, turn it, and then give yourself one slice. You want a nice hearty piece. Okay, we'll do that again. This is so great with a Tuscan bread. And also, you can add a white bean to it, a nice buttered bean, and that's really great too. So here we are. We've got that. And I'm going to pull out the center, pull it aside, and give it one more slice. And this is like hearty. It's quite large. Red onion. And this is my way of making it, but you can go ahead and change it. You can add what you like to it. I like it this way because it's really great on a sandwich. And it's a different alternative than having a mayonnaise-based tuna salad. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. And cut, cut, cut. And I like my red onion a little bit smaller because red onion can be so strong and powerful that it can be overbearing. So you can do it like this. Throw that in. I'll move my bowl a little closer. You can do it like that. Or you could leave it julienned, a thin strip. But if you leave it thin, you want it really thin. Go like that. Okay? And that's your other option. Nice thin strip. And it doesn't really matter. You do it the way you want. If you don't like red onion or you don't like onions at all, just skip the onion and add something else. Maybe you could add a little bit of broccolini, or perhaps maybe an asparagus would be good. We'll take this. Okay, what I need is a garlic clove. I'm going to smash it. Smash another one really well, and then really mince it nice and fine. Nice and fine, and then take your knife and grind it a little bit. And guide yourself when you do this. If you do this, guide it. Keep it pressed down on the table. And use your finger as like a pestle and mortar and kind of grind it in. You want to excrete all the juices and the oils from the garlic, because you don't really want to get a lot of garlic in this. pick it up, drop it in. Okay, very nice. Wipe my board off. Need basil. I always keep fresh washed basil around the house. And if you put it in a wet paper towel and Ziploc bag it, let me just turn my exhaust fan off. My exhaust fan's going so loud, it's starting to bother me. I don't need it anymore, so I'll turn it off. That's what happens to me when I'm cooking. I usually leave the fans on until I finally realize, hey, dummy, turn the fan off. Okay, so let me just cut and julienne the basil. It doesn't really matter about the basil, about touching the leaves at this point, because what happens is it's going to hit the oil, and once it hits the oil, it's going to wilt down and change anyway. So don't sweat it at this point. Drop some of that in there. Okay, here comes the fun part, the extra virgin olive oil. Okay, bring my salad over. I got my fresh black cracked pepper. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is really important in here. And if you have a little red wine vinegar, it goes really well with this, although you don't need it. You do need the salt with the tuna, though. So I have a fresh sea salt here that I'm grinding, extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Sure killed that bottle. And I'm just going to stir now. Simple. Oh, you know what I need? What would be great in this? Black olives. And somewhere I do have a thing of black olives. I'll grab the black olives, Tony. Thank you very much. I got some black olives. These are pitted Kalamata olives, and I always keep them in a plastic container to keep the moisture and the flavor in. Olives can be very strong. Take a knife, and I'll just pull a couple olives out, and not the juice. Okay, beautiful. Keep that, keep it covered. Okay, you don't want the whole refrigerator smelling like olives. It's like anchovies, you know? It looks great already. Do that. Need a good Tuscan bread. Wipe that off. And so I have a nice, this bread particularly comes from Blue Duck Bakery in Southampton on Hampton Road. And I love their breads. They're fantastic. If you want this recipe or any other from one of our shows, just simply hit me on www.culinaryexperience.tv, and I will send you the copy of the recipe, and it'll take a day or so, but you'll get it. Okay, here we go. Take your tuna. It's nice and wet, and if you want, you can add a little red wine vinegar. Balsamic, I would definitely not add to this. This is not something you want balsamic with. I actually think balsamic is quite overdone. Go ahead. Oop, don't want to drop any. Oh. And the color of the tomato, this is really a Tuscan salad. It's wonderful. And just leave it like that. And then if you have a little extra olive oil, you can just drizzle it around the bread. Okay, I think I'll do that. And use any olive oil. Extra virgin is best. Just a little drizzle. Okay? And don't forget to wipe your plate and decorate. And when we come back, we're going to start working on our linguine with cockles. Hi, and welcome back to A Culinary Experience. If you're just joining us, I'm feeding my face here. I'm having so much good fun at Loaves and Fishes Cook Shop making so much food that I just keep eating. Okay, so let's get into some cockles with some percolette pasta. It's very simple, very easy. I'm going to start by taking my pan and turning it on. I need some garlic, rosemary, and cockles. Cockles are a clam, very small clam, that don't have a lot of meat to them, but they have a lot of flavor, and that's where it's at. It's like, bam! There's so much flavor in these little guys that they're totally enjoyable. So here's how we start. I'm going to make this. I'm going to do a little bit of the linguine, do this, and I'm going to make a little appetizer plate. So start off with some garlic. In this dish, you just want to take your garlic and slice it, sliver it. You're going to need some basic virgin olive oil or some extra virgin olive oil on this. And either one will be fine. The extra virgin is really good. But the reason I say you can use a basic one in this one is because the cockles are so flavorful that it's not going to, they're going to outdo the olive oil and the rosemary. So we'll start with that. I'll just go ahead and pour a little olive oil into my pan. And we're going to get it just tempered. We're going to sweat the garlic. Sweat the garlic a little bit. I'll just drop that in right now. And when I hear the garlic starting to cook, then I know that it's going to be time to add my rosemary. Rosemary, it's so fragrant and so wonderful and strong, You don't need that much of it. So we're just going to strip down the leaves. And you know, it's once you use the rosemary, it's kind of like you had Christmas in your hands here. I'm going to do this, and I can hear the garlic starting to cook. And that's giving me the sign. You don't want to burn the garlic. What you want to do is bring out as much of the flavor as you possibly can. I have my water going already, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and salt my water. Very important to salt your water when you're cooking the pasta, and not to add olive oil because you don't need it. Water and oil don't mix unless you emulsify both of them. So that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for seasoning. We've got that. I'm going to take this. My garlic's starting to go. I'm going to come and grab a little spoon. And what I'm going to do is let the garlic get just a wee bit cooked off. And I'm going to go ahead and add my pasta to my water. I can hear the garlic going. That's my sign to throw the rosemary in. And when I hear the rosemary starting to pop, because you don't want to overcook this, that's giving me my sign to add the cockles. And it doesn't take very long to cook this dish. I'm going to need a lid for this too because I want the cockles and the juice to steam open. So, it's a timing thing. You get that fragrance of the rosemary, and you can just smell it. It's like boasting out at you. It's just unbelievable. I wish you could smell it. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. So that's what we're waiting for. Okay? And I've got it. I can smell it. I can feel it. I can live it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my cockles. Okay? Cockles, like I said, they don't have a lot of meat, but it's the flavor you're going for. It's the important thing. Oh, it smells fantastic. Okay, we let it sit, get it hot. Then what we're going to do is cover it and let it go. And literally, it's only going to take a moment for the cockles to open up. Then we're going to pull them out and put them on our pasta. This pasta is it's like a spaghetti, but it's a fatter spaghetti and has a tiny little hole running through it. And a lot of times you'll see this spaghetti in a soup, like the Italians make a white bean bread soup, and you'll see this pasta broken up in it, really, really nice. It's a great pasta. Okay, while that's going, it's going to be just a couple of minutes. I'm going to step over here. Back in my days as a youngster, my Aunt Gloria, where I lived, always went shopping to the Bridgehampton IGA back then. Now it's called Bob's Country Market. But she always brought a lot of fruit and grapes and bries and things. And it always sat on the countertop. Wherever you're going to come, if you're going to go to a picnic or whatever, you have fruit and cheese ready to go. You don't have to do anything. So I pull off a nice pear and just give it a nice couple slices. You get a nice couple cheeses. You grab a nice bottle of wine, and you enjoy your friends and family simple. You don't have to go out and spend $160 for dinner for two. Just enjoy them alone at home, or go to the beach, or go to the park. Okay, so I'm going to take my brie. The other thing about a brie, and I think my aunt really taught me this, was the brie should nice and smooth and nice and warm. You don't want this ice cold. You don't want to serve this thing cold. We always had it open on the counter, and the brie runs, and the guys come by and grab a little cream of brie like that and eat it. And that's what's so wonderful. So, enjoy it. Okay, so I have that. I have an Asian pear. I happen to love pear and brie, thanks, Tony. And a nice couple crackers and a Tuscan bread, and it's really all you need. I'm going to lay this out. Ooh, I'll flip that up and give it a little decoration there. Let me just go ahead back and check our cockles for a second. Wow. The aroma is amazing, and that's really the whole thing of it. Ah, fantastic. I wish you could go out to a restaurant and grab this good of a meal. Okay, I'm going to put a little decoration there. Got some crackers here. And this is the way we lived. We had cheese and crackers and Tuscan tuna and wine and dancing and food and pasta. And that's heart. It's the heart of life. It's fantastic. Basic salami, you can pick up any kind of supersada, peppered supersada or anything. These don't have to be refrigerated all the time because they're cured meats. You can pick up a little prosciutto. Just lay this out right here. Just tuck it behind your brie. You know, a lot of times I see people going through the store going, I need hors d'oeuvres, I need hors d'oeuvres. What do I do? What do I do? Listen, don't sweat it. Just grab a couple crackers and cheese. What else do I have? This cheese is from the watermill. It's a watermill cheese from Boy, I forgot where it's from. Meacock's Dairy. I knew it would come to me. But this is a fantastic cheese. On Meacock's Dairy, it's Ludlow Farms, and it's right there on Meacock's Road. You can pull right in. You can get a goat cheese, a brie, any kind of cheese. They've got wonderful cheeses there. Oh, let's see how we're doing. I can hear it. You see what I'm doing? I'm using my hearing part of my cooking. I can hear the bubbling over. It's telling me that my pasta's getting there and my cockles are getting there. Basically, that's my cockles screaming, saying, come on, come on. Okay, here we go. I am almost ready. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to test my pasta, and it's not ready. I can feel it. Got 1 more minute. And then we're going to put it together. Then I'll need a couple of cherries. They're wonderful. If the kids are coming in from outside, there's not a kid in the world that doesn't like cherries. And kumquats you're not going to really eat, I don't think, but you can use them as a decoration. And we have another pear and a fontina cheese. I usually cut the rind off the fontina cheese. And when we come back from this break, we'll put together our linguine with cockles. And who knows what other trouble we'll get into with a culinary experience. So, but that's the way it used to be. I love it. Oh, and we're back. Welcome back to a culinary experience. We're here at Loaves and Fishes Cook Shop in Garden City. And we're just making dinner, really. We have a cockles with linguine. We made my Aunt Gloria's beautiful Tuscan tuna. I'm not quite sure if it was hers or my cousin Kaylee's, but it was wonderful and derived directly from them. And I'm still making it today. And I was just over here making a little cheese plate so we have something to nibble on before they come. So here we go. And just go ahead and, the fontina cheese is a creamy, smooth cheese and just wonderful. And you can go ahead and make a couple cheese sticks out of it. Okay? So, I mean, if you go shopping, the way I do it is I usually just shop from my heart. You know, I see something and I want it. You know, I think, ooh, that looks good. Or when I look at a cookbook, you know, I see it and I go, oh, that looks so good, let's do it. But, you know, we change the recipe a little bit, change it up, make it our own. Take charge of your food, you know? I mean, this is simple and a lot less expensive than going out. Okay, I'm going to need one more plate because you know what I think I'm going to do? While I'm at it, I think I'm going to make another little plate of tomato mozzarella with steamed asparagus and a little broccoli rabe. Okay, here we go on this. I'm going to reach over and grab this bowl. I have stuff all over the place, so you have to follow me. Oop, what was that? I had a little water in that bowl. Made a mess. See, this will happen in my kitchen, and I'm sure it happens in yours. Okay, we're all right. So here we go. That's what they call reality television, honest, decent television. You think it's all made up. No, we're honest here. So let's check our pasta now. Oh, and it's got that just that little hardness to it, that al dente-ness, and that's exactly what I want. So here we go. I'm going to pull out my pasta. Let it drain for a minute. Pull this. I'm probably going to like pepper this off just a little bit before I serve it. You know, I would like to put a little fresh cracked pepper on it. Okay. Ooh. Mmm. And like I say, you can drain the whole pot or you can just do it this way. Because once you're serving your guests, you don't care what happened when the leftover little pastas that are in the bottom of the pot. Who cares? This is one of those dinners that you can serve your family, you can serve your friends, and go sit down immediately and not have to worry about anything. Oh. And this pasta is great because if you do this al dente, it continues to cook as you're serving it. So you definitely want to do it al dente. And being that it's a heavier pasta, okay, I'm done with you now. Being that it's a heavier pasta, you really don't have to worry about it. I hate overcooked pasta. And then here we have, oh, our cockles. Well, our cockles are great, but what's even better is the juice that comes with them. And out of the cockle derives a lot of clam juice, and that's a lot of flavor. Let's just pour it in. Oh, and save some of these for the top. We're going to mix it all together. Mmm. And then we're going to olive oil it and pepper it just a little bit. Thanks, Tony. You see, we can't do it ourselves. We need help. So I have Tony Piazza to help me, and that's really wonderful. It's backup, you know. Let's do this. A little pepper. And being that it's a clam, you don't really need any salt. And a little Parmesan cheese. is okay with this. You can do it. They used to say, oh, you can't put cheese on seafood. Nah, malarkey. It's your food. You put what you want on it. A little crushed red pepper would go nice. You can throw that on. For myself, I'm just going to decorate. Okay. Oh, the aroma is so outstanding, and it's just from the clam. Very simple. It gives you so much flavor. Okay, and I'm just going to scoop some clams on top. Just like that. Decorate. You know what happened to me one time? Come on, I'm going to go get some decoration. I was in Florence, Italy, and it was the first time I ever saw these clams. And I ate them, and I put the shells in a baggie, and I carried them all through Italy with me because you're not allowed to export seafood. But I thought I'd get caught stealing the shells back because I wanted to come back and say, wow, look what I had. This was so awesome. And I got back in like March. And as soon as I got back, I was in the fish market, and I saw the exact clam I just ate. And I thought, what a dummy. But it was something new to me that I thought was, magnifico italiano. And actually, they're from New Zealand. Well, we live and learn. Okay, let's go back to this other thing I'm thinking about, which is like a little asparagus and a little tomato mozzarella. Well, here it is. We have water from our pasta, and it's the same meal, so why don't I just blanch it off in my pasta water? What's the difference? That's not the right lid. Will it work? Yes. All right, come on. Tomato mozzarella. Tony was going to go get me the right lid, but I'm like, let's not worry about it. Here we go. One little plate, and we will plate up a little tomato mozzarella with a little bit of asparagus on the side. I didn't know there was water in that bowl, and I went and picked it up, and the water went like everywhere. And hey, things happen in the kitchen, you know? Things just happen. So don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, we all make mistakes. Why edit it? Leave it in. Okay, plate it up. I'll put this right up here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a little tomato mozzarella. And this is like a buffet here at Loaves and Fishes Cook Shop. Got some cheese, mozzarella, and I'm just going to lay this in, lay that in. Give myself. The important thing is the mozzarella cheese should be the size of the tomato. And being that we have a ball of mozzarella, we're just going to go ahead and cut it in half like that and add it in. Okay? Add it in. And we have one more. You don't need a lot. Having 1 or 2 people for dinner, this will last like a week and a half. Don't worry. It's not going to go bad. Great sandwich. Put it with the Tuscan tuna. You got the great Tuscan bread right here? Bring it on. Here you go. Let's see how our asparagus is doing. Give it 1 more minute, and we're going to be awesome. They are delicious. I want you to go out and stop by the seafood shop or one of these seafood markets and ask them for some cockles. Look it. I mean, why not use the same water? It's your kitchen. I'm going to cut my rubber band off. I always leave the rubber band on because it holds the asparagus together. And lay this in there. Lay that in there. You don't hear a bam on this show. Pepper. Salt. Olive oil. And in a half an hour, we have a magnificent meal. We have 4 dishes that were so easily prepared, you can do it yourself. People stop me in the street and say, wow, it looks so easy. The point is, it is. It's really easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Well, that's it from the show of A Culinary Experience in the kitchen at Loaves and Fishes Cook Shop. This is Michael Mosolino signing off saying, good friends, good food, good life, God bless, and good night.
Michael Mosolino's Culinary Experience is brought to you by The Deli Counter, Fine Foods and Catering, 623 Hampton Road, Southampton, New York.